Hello friends, my name is Anjani Kumar. I interact with a lot of youngsters who come to me for career advice. A lot of times I realize that they are a bit confused in terms of how they can go ahead with their career, whether they should study, whether they should work, or if they have to study, in which stream they should take up their studies. So I find people quite confused, and that's why I keep supporting them in terms of giving certain advices which are helpful to them. Through this series, I'm going to interact with some of the youngsters who have come to me for these kind of advices.
Hi,
Go ahead and shoot what you want to know from me.
I have just completed my management studies. I just done my graduation. So now I'm looking for different career options to start off with my career. Since we know that there are so many options that are available, starting with if you want to study further, there are premium B schools or there are diploma courses or going abroad or taking up a job. So how should I go about if I want to continue my higher studies? What decision should I take?
This is a very normal question which I hear from a lot of people who are freshers and who have just completed their graduation. I think one key question here is what excites you? What do you really want to do in your life? Traditionally in India, we had very little choices because you were told either you have to become an engineer or you have to become a doctor or you go in government services. But now the world has changed. Now youngsters have many more options. They are keen to go into areas which traditionally have not been considered a career choice. Now, since you have done your graduation in management studies, one very natural progression is to do your masters in management studies. But provided you have interest in that area, that's extremely important. So you have to figure out whether you really want to do that or not. Another thing which I advise people and which is extremely important, that if you want to do your masters in management studies, it's always good to get some exposure into the corporate world. So say if you work for 2-3 years and then do your masters, it adds lot more value in terms of your learnings. And even the premium management schools, they are more open to look at people who come with certain years of experience. But it's extremely important to figure out that whether that lies in your area of interest or not. So what is really your area of interest? What do you feel?
Since there are so many job opportunities, if you see that it is available in the market, wide range of field of work is available. So I am not able to decide which field will interest me a lot. I have an interest in a lot of areas. So it's very confusing for me to decide a particular field of course of taking up a job. And if not studies, I'll end up taking a job. So how should I plan about deciding a job which will suit my requirements?
So that's where I think it's extremely important for you to narrow down to at least few choices. As you rightly said that there are so many options available. Now let's divide it in two parts. The first option is you want to study first, and the second option is you want to work first and then study. When it comes to working, I think after graduation it's extremely important to more focus on learnings. So whichever work that you take up, it's extremely important that it should provide you certain learnings which could be useful later on. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. So while there are a lot of people I see who take up jobs in call centers just to earn some money. Now the question is that is it a really smart choice? Because traditionally, if you look at in US, people who work in call centers, they are in their 40s and 50s. So it's a career choice for people at a very higher age bracket. While in India, because the youth wanted to earn some money in the beginning, that's why they started going into call centers. So it was not because it was a career choice or there was a process of learning involved, people just went there for money. Now you have to question yourself that whether that works for you or not. So do take up something if you are going for a job where there is certain learning, where you are getting a real exposure into the corporate world. Coming back to the studies. Now, as I said, narrow down your options. Look at your interest level. Now tell me, do you have a certain area of interest which you want to pursue?
Yes, maybe HR or finance, but I'm still confused between both of them.
Okay, so at least it's narrowing down to HR
Yes.
and finance,
Yes.
right? And which is in the realm of management studies,
Yes.
right? So it will be a great idea that if you take up a job in either of these two fields, work for 2 years, gain experience, and then you will start realizing that which of them is of more interest to you, and you get more excited by that, and then you can further take it up in your masters, where you can specialize in one of these areas, and that's how it will be. So what I'm telling you is to take a stepwise decision, right?
Yes.
First you say whether I want to work or I want to study. If you say that, and then if you want to work, then which are the areas where you have certain interest and which are giving you learnings. If you want to study further, again very focused, what is that which excites you? So as you said that because you want to focus on these two areas, gain experience in that, and then figure out that if you have to do your masters, choose one of them and take your career ahead.
That's right.
Perfect.
I should first concentrate on my job so that I can gain experience. Apart from this, I have one more question.
Go ahead.
I have my personal interest in writings. I like to write short films or poetries, but I'm not encouraged much from my family to take up as my career. So how should I look at that as in my option?
So again, the decision is yours. People will tell you a lot of things, right? So it's not about just having that as a career choice or not. It can be an interest area, but you have to see that whether you are serious about writing, whether your capabilities around writing are such that it can become a career choice, or you just want to do it in your free time. That is the question you have to ask. Because if you're serious about taking writing as a career, you need to be of that level where it can give you that much money in future, which can fulfill your requirements. So that's very important for yourself to ask, right? So hope I've been able to answer your questions.
Yes, surely your advice is going to help me to build up my career.
So next time again we'll interact with one more youngster and we'll try to help him or her with their career problems. Thank you very much.